First of all, credit Troy. I said it coming in this week, and I think it was pretty evident out there. They're a really good football team. Defensively, they played better on offense today. Did a lot of good things, and Coach Lindsey does a great job there. And I talked on Tuesday about how hard they play, and you saw that today. So credit them and best of luck to them for the rest of the season. I don't know about you guys. I feel like I aged about 40 years during that game. I don't know if it was the same in the press box, but man, but proud of our guys and proud of our guys and the way they battled and never flinched. And obviously a huge play by Spalding there at the end of the first half to give us momentum going into halftime. But, we talked about it at halftime that we're in a dogfight, and this is a good football team that's going to come back out in the second half. And we said, let's just get this thing to the fourth quarter. And we're built for this, and we've continued to find ways to win games in the fourth quarter if you look at East Carolina as well. And that's what those guys did today. So proud of them, man. And in all three phases, defensively, just making stops over and over again and scoring touchdowns, really what should have been 2 touchdowns on defense today. But, blocking a punt, we probably lead the country right now in block punts if I'm guessing. That was huge. Parker White kicking field goals, Kai Kroger punting the football. And then offensively, you look at it, we did a lot of really good things. We missed some open throws. We just got to finish drives. I think we punted twice today, and they were both in plus territory, if I'm not mistaken, like 40-yard line going in. So we got to do a better job of finishing drives. But what a drive at the end of the game, though. To take over and just march right down the field and kick a field goal. That's 4-minute offense right there, textbook. With the plays we made, and so a lot to build up on. Obviously, we talk about playing smart football, and we didn't do a great job of that today, but it's all correctable, and that was a hell of a win. It really was. To have the disappointment that we had last week against Kentucky, to be so close, for some of the outside noise, if you want to call it that I'm sure our players were hearing this week, to battle through today when it wasn't pretty. There's a lot of teams that would have lost that football game, and our guys never flinched. Love the guys in that room. We're going to celebrate the heck out of this. That's a joyous locker room in there right now, and we've got to get a whole lot better. Going forward, got a big challenge next week in Knoxville. Injury-wise, we came out of it pretty good. Cam Smith has I don't think it's a concussion, but it was just a slight head injury that we held him out in the second half. And great job by guys stepping up. You lose R.J. Roderick, your starting safety. Carlin Splatel, your backup nickel, is already out. He didn't play. And then Cam Smith gets hurt. So we're down 3 in a thin secondary to begin with. We're down 3 of our top defensive backs pretty much throughout the game, and had some other guys step up like Jamar Brown and David Spalding had to play a lot more plays and things like that as well. We were rotating nickels with nickel position with Carlin Splatel and Spalding. Platel didn't play. Cam Smith was our second nickel this game, so basically we lost Cam and we have no other nickel except for Spalding. So great job by him and a lot of those guys. Josh Van he hurt his groin in practice the other day, late in the week, and he was able to play obviously, but was limited. So we just had to be careful with how we used him today. But other than Cam, we came out of it pretty good injury wise. So with that, I'll be glad to answer any questions and appreciate the fans that were there today as well. They were loud, and the cockpit was rocking down there in the end zone. We appreciate those guys. And going forward, if you're a season ticket holder or you're somebody that has tickets to a game and you're not going to come, please get those tickets to somebody else. There's a bunch of great Gamecocks out there that would love to be in this stadium. And let me know. We'll put it on social media and get some tickets given away because we got some great fans out there, and we need every single one of them out there as well.
Ben Portnoy with the first one.
Shane, have you ever seen anything like that couple of fumble play that Jamar drops the ball short? I guess what was your angle on it? I guess, for lack of a better term, what the hell went on that play?
That was like the longest play in the history of college football with the way it happened. My gosh, it's I see the fumble happen. I knew it was a fumble. Then we pick it up, and it's just like slow motion, hoping you're going to fall on the ball and don't give it back to them. And then all of a sudden it pops out of there, and you realize we're going to score. And I did not have an angle on him dropping the ball before he got to the end zone. I didn't even think of that. When they initially went to review it, I asked, "What are you reviewing?" And it was just to make sure that he wasn't down Damani on the fumble. And then our coaches in the box actually told me it looks like he fumbled before the ball crossed the goal line. So I didn't mention that to the officials. I was hoping they didn't notice it. But obviously they're too good up in the press box, and that wasn't going to get past them on the replay. Tough play. Obviously that can't happen. I mean, geez, that was that could have been the ball game right there, and that was tough. But the defense comes right back out, and just, we talk about it all the time. Just our mantra is just put the ball down. So dealt with some adversity, put the ball down, and go back out and get another stop.
David Cloninger.
Hey, Shane, thanks for doing this. What is Carlin's injury, and also about Jalen Nichols? And is Kevin Harris 100%? He seemed to be kind of laboring a little bit there early.
Jalen Nichols, I'm sorry, he didn't play. He has a high ankle sprain. Sorry about that, David. I forgot about Jalen. He, earlier in the week, we felt like he'd be okay. He just didn't come along in rehab treatment as quick as we wanted, so he was not healthy. Platel's nothing serious. It's a little bit of a leg contusion or bruise. When I talked to him on Wednesday night, he felt like he was going to be able to practice and be fine on Thursday, but he just didn't feel great on Thursday and didn't feel well enough to play. And Kevin, as far as I know, was healthy. I didn't talk to him after the game. Clint Haggard told me our only issue was Cam. So as far as I know, Kevin's healthy.
Colin Taylor.
Yeah, Shane, I think you guys talked a lot about penalties earlier in the season, and I think 10 for 93 yards today. How do you go about addressing that with the team, and what were the conversations like with Jamar after that play?
Coach White and Coach Gray, obviously, coaching them up and getting that corrected. I didn't have to say a whole lot to him at that point. I mean, it was what it was, and we had to come right back out on defense and get another stop. It's not good enough. It's not like we're not emphasizing it. We've started again the Kentucky week. We started doing different things in practice to try and just emphasize playing smart football and not beating ourselves. And it was better last week. This week we really tried to emphasize different areas, and we always emphasize playing smart football, but it's just one of those things we got to continue to coach it and teach and learn. And it's not like we're not talking about it. It's not like we're not holding them accountable during the week in practice and off the field. We are, but obviously it's got to be better because it's not good enough right now.
Mike Uva.
Shane, Luke throwing for a career high today, passing yards, and in the first half he was able to achieve that feat from 202 yards. What have you seen with him being able to continue to get back? I know we keep using that number 100%, but continuing to get back to what Luke looked like, or at least as close to what he looked like before the injury.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. I mean, he made some really nice throws today and did a good job. We missed some throws, obviously. Quarterback, receiver, running back, tight end, all of us, got to execute and make plays when plays present themselves. But I think he's just continuing to get more and more comfortable. And like I told you guys, I mean, today was his second start of the year and his fourth start ever as a college quarterback. So he's continuing to get better. And I think the thing with him is just, and we were talking to him about it during the game, like when it's not there, like, run. And, I think he's just, the thing with him is just continuing to get more and more confident and taking off and running. I mean, he's a great quarterback, and sure, we want to sit in the pocket and make throws downfield, but his legs are a weapon, and I think he'll just continue to get more and more confident at doing that also.
Corey Diaz.
Shane, noticed early on lots of looks for Jaheim, Nick, EJ from the tight end spot. It got me thinking. I'm kind of curious, how much for you guys as a coaching staff, and maybe just in the sport of college football as a whole, knowing who is in visiting, how much does that factor into what you kind of want to show out on the field and what you do?
We want to spotlight our best players. How about that? But no, we that's a good question. I did think of that during the game a couple times when Nick and Jaheim caught a couple balls for sure. I can't lie and tell you that I wasn't thinking about it. But, no, I mean, we go into the game. I mean, we had some throws last week for those guys as well. I mean, the play that we threw to Jaheim down the sideline last week over there on the sideline, I mean, that was a play that we saw the formation. We knew what they were going to be in, talking about Kentucky, and we checked to get the ball to Jaheim on the sideline on that play. So it's something that we always do. I mean, our tight ends are weapons, and we want to continue to find ways to get them the ball. We felt really good about the matchups today against Troy, and we're trying to target those guys, but that was solely because we're trying to do our best to win a football game.
Cam Gaskins.
Hey, Shane. Coach Satterfield emphasized earlier in the week how important it was to get the offense going on third down again after the struggles last week. Felt like those struggles were still there today. From your vantage point, what are the issues on third down, and what do you try to do to correct that moving forward?
Just continue to, one, stay out of them, be better on first down and second down so you don't get into third down situations. And then we just got to be able to execute. I mean, I can't remember all of them today. I mean, a lot of them were plays, I think. Just going back on the video, we're going to see that we had people open. We just got to throw and catch. We got to protect better a little bit on third down. I think I know on one of those we got a couple pressures, and it starts on first and second down. But we've certainly got to be better and just continue to get more and more efficient. I mean, we just weren't. I know we had a play on offense today where we had 12 in the huddle. That can't happen. We had to burn a timeout because we had two guys in the game that there was some confusion on what they were doing. We had a timeout, coming out of a timeout, just didn't execute a play as well as we needed to coming out of a timeout. And that goes back to us again. But we've just got to continue to just be efficient. And that is first down and second down for sure.
Augusta Stone.
Hey, Shane, I noticed tonight some of the transfer additions really, stepping up tonight, like E.J. Jenkins and then David Spalding with that big interception there right before the half. And I wanted to ask you just kind of what is like the impact of those players that you've seen so far, and how did they shine for you tonight?
I mean, they thank God we have them. Those guys are doing a nice job. Spalding, transfer, Amari and Brown did some good things tonight, and then somebody that we've got to continue to get in the game. We got him in there earlier, or a little bit earlier tonight. EJ, like you're talking about, so for sure those guys are impact guys, and they're continuing to get better and better. And getting EJ and some of those guys in the game, I mean, that was a point of emphasis. We need to get those guys going, and it's nothing against the other receivers, but we can't ask our receivers to play 75 plays or 50 plays or however many we're out there on offense. We got to be able. We got good players. We got to play them all, and we got to keep them fresh. And those transfers and new arrivals, I count the freshmen in that as well. I mean, you saw Juju have some nice runs and did some good things tonight. So we're a young football team and a new football team in a lot of ways, and those guys are just continuing to get more and more comfortable out there.
Hill.
Hey, Shane, I was just wondering what you made of the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. It seemed like Troy was able to move the ball pretty effectively on the ground, and y'all struggled to move the ball that way. Just kind of your take on both sides of the line.
Well, I mean, we'll see what it looks like when I get home tonight and watch it on the iPad. But, I mean, we certainly struggled at times to run the football. And, we can sit there and say that that's a Sun Belt team, and that's Troy. That's a really good defense that is top 5 in the country in sacks, tackles for loss, and total yardage per game for a reason. And don't give me they haven't played anybody. If you look at their body of work for the last 2 or 3 years, they do it consistently for the last couple of years. So we've certainly got to be better, because I realize we're going to play better defenses the rest of the season than what we saw, today. But let's give Troy a little bit of credit. But we certainly got to be better. I mean, I don't think they lined up and ran the ball on us necessarily on defense. They obviously we misfit a gap and gave them a long run on early in the game that they had. And then I know I can remember another long run when we had them in the backed up situation where we missed a tackle at defensive back. We got to tackle better, but I don't think they necessarily lined up and mashed us. And then offensively, we got to be better. We didn't run the ball as well as we would have liked today, and we'll continue to look at why. But we had the ball backed up and took the ball and marched it right down the field and ran the football and threw the football and went down there to kick a field goal to make it a 2-score game. So we'll build on that and continue to find ways to get better.
Take 2 more. David, then Ben.
Hey, Shane, what'd you do to your knuckle on your right hand? Is
I
that a
just-
cut there?
I don't know. I just noticed that, David. I really don't know. I was looking at my finger and I was trying to figure out what I had. It's a good question. Probably celebrating too hard on some of the plays. It was a struggle out there today for sure. And there were ups and downs, but I guess I did it then. I'm not really sure. Nothing that'll keep me out too long. I think it's just it looks worse than what it is.
Last question goes to Ben Portnoy.
Shane, you kind of touched on it, but obviously Luke threw like almost 35 passes tonight. I mean, in a game, obviously you want to get a little more from your run game, but to be able to have Luke step back there and throw the ball that many times in a game and let him kind of air it out a little bit. I mean, just how much comfort do you have in that, and how valuable is a game like that? 3, 4, 5 games into the year now.
And no, we got to be able to take shots down the field. I mean, right now, y'all realize, I mean, we're not just lining up and just marching the ball down the field for 80-yard drives and touchdowns. And defenses are too good nowadays in college football, and we've got to be able to create explosive plays. We've got to be able to create shot plays, and that's in the run game and the pass game. And we got good coaches, we got weapons on offense, and we've got to be able to protect and throw the ball down the field. And emphasize that today. We wanted to I don't want to say open it up necessarily, but try and get that passing game going and get the ball to our best players. We talked all week about just players, get the ball into our best players' hands, and we had things today for a lot of those guys, and did a good job for the most part, but certainly got to be better. But yeah, absolutely, it's good when you're able to do that. And as Luke gets more and more comfortable and confident out there, I think we'll have the ability to connect on a lot more of those as well. Especially as you're able to throw the ball down the field, that opens up more and more things for our run game, and then him being able to run and scramble when they do a good job in coverage.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you all.
it.
Have a nice weekend.